Hello. It's not on. It's not on. Hello. Boom, boom,
What are you expecting the mic to speak back to you? It's on. You are live.
Hello. Hello, students. Hello, students. You are tuned in to the first MSc of the semester. This is why I'm not even doing that.
Oh my god, you should listen to yourself.
Hello.
Publicity. Where's Shantan? Is he
I'm
coming?
looking at Jasmine and Vandana.
Huh?
Very antisocial. If you could see them. Yes, they're being very antisocial. That's them. Hey, and that's me. Hey! I have a mic with me. Yeah, that's me. If you're watching this, you might want to join our SOB 101. Oh, publicity!
If you sit on your mic, no, you're going to be on the mic all the time. Just try and avoid the chair here, like go over.
The camera's still pointing at me. And now it's
Be like
on.
that.
So both chairs can lah.
You split lah. Remove the chair a bit, then yeah, you can sit there already.
Hope you're watching.
You don't want to be on.
I'm your MC for today.
Then who else? Arts.
Yeah, Sam. I'm saying for everyone who's watching.
Where's Pam?
On the way.
On the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Lawrence.
You want to watch yourself, Dina?
Yeah. Nelson? Okay, please confirm. Alright. Yeah, Nelson, engineering, both of them also. Pharmacy. Where's Serene? Is not here.
I think it's bus.
So you asked me to pass you back there. Franklin, have you signed? Yeah, you signed. Andrew, have you signed? Dina. Okay, dah dia.
Start in morning. Go back to the top. Okay, guys, settle down. It's time to start. Sean? Okay guys, alright, let's start. It's already 6:17. Okay, before I begin, I see some new faces here, so welcome to the Monash Student Council meeting. Okay, so this is where we debate and discuss major initiatives and events that we do on campus. Alright, so without further ado, I'll pass it to the General Secretary to continue the meeting.
Okay, first order of business, acceptance of apology and proxy letter. Wei Yang is unable to attend today's meeting as he has an hospital appointment back in his hometown. He grants his voting right to Kai Bin. Jun is unable to attend today's meeting as he has a meeting with his lecturer and he grants his voting right to Naha. Sean Liu is unable to attend today's meeting as well as he will be attending NLRC leadership training class. He grants his voting right to Mini. Right. Motion 1, acceptance of apology and proxy letter accepted by again accepted by Andrew, seconded by Sam. Acceptance of 5th MSc meeting minutes accepted by Gerald, seconded by Jasmine.
Why don't you even try?
First report, Vice President.
What's up, man? What's up? Say what?
There's been some changes because
So the first thing we're going to talk about is our merchandise sale. It happened in week 1 from 10 AM to 3 PM at the foyer. I think that's us there. We sold varsity jackets, our gym bags, and our bottles. In total, we sold 579 varsity jackets, 1114 bottles, and 24 gym bags. So, creating a revenue of 40K. 40 plus K. So the response from students were pretty great, and we actually had staff and alumni actually buying them from us as well. There were still some defective pieces like buttons falling off. We changed those, obviously. Overall, the sales were better than expected, and we would like to thank all MUSA members who helped out, and also the subcons who helped out and supported us with the sale.
Also, it was a good sales because, like, I mean, we bought it. The quantity was supposed to be for 2 semesters, and we only have like 95 left for this sem. Okay, so the next one is TEDx. As you guys know, we got the license and we already started working on it and so on. And we also have our speakers and all that. But today we met up with Mr. Selvin and Mr. Bobak, Dr. Bobak. Yeah, so we had a discussion and so on, and they went through our list of speakers, and we realized that some of the things were not fully prepared yet. So we agreed to move the date to 7th of October for now. We can't do it in September because all Saturdays in September are occupied with we have one event or the other. And so far, the organizing committee from MUSA side is agreeable to it. Editors has not gotten back to me yet. Anything else? Okay, so it's supposed to be 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. 7th of October. Targeted audience is 100 or 200. Summary students are also able to participate if they want to. Ticket price will be between 20-25, it's not decided yet. And we will keep the students updated with the marketing and so on. In terms of confirmed speakers, some of the names have been struck out, so can we just let go of this list first? Yeah. Okay, the last one is to endorse. Okay, so as you guys know, we face a lot of problems with our supplier, Omar Khan and his partner Osama. Okay, Osama. Omar Khan and Osama. So basically, they gave a lot of problems in 2015 and 2016. And there were a total of 7 delays and a lot of goodwills from them, but there were no goodwill, and the delays was caused because they couldn't decide and they wanted to like satisfy to our deadline, and they just said it out of just for the sake of saying it and blah blah blah. So we realized that in order to save MUSA from this kind of dealings in the future, we would like to ban any business dealings with Hyrax or Osama or even Omar. And for this, we would like to go through all your rules.
Is it necessary to have a vote for this though? Can't you just tell the future MUSA not to use it?
I think it's better to make it black and white. So that way, it's not just Monash, because this is going to go online. Other universities will also be able to not get themselves involved into a trouble.
So we're blacklisting them now.
Yes, we are.
Is Omar like Osama is here? Like,
Omar is, Osama
okay, because
isn't.
I don't know why we like blood in it.
Yeah.
I thought they were random people.
No. Omar is, Osama isn't. Yeah. So, what do I have to say?
I'll see.
Okay.
Okay, motion 3 for MSC to agree to not have any business relationship from henceforth with Hyrax. 4.
You're playing wrong game, man.
Wait, Sam, just pick up.
No, Shanta's not here. He didn't give his screen to someone, so Kevin, can you have it please? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15.
Against? Abstain?
1, 2, 3, 4.
19.
19.
Me? 5. 5 abstains.
Yeah.
Can I see who's here holding a vote?
Who has voting rights?
Sean didn't give anyone else, he didn't submit. We passed it to Calvin. Calvin?
No.
Then Charmaine, you hold his voting right?
Nelson.
No, you didn't run.
Nelson, Terry.
Everyone.
Okay, put on hand. Sean didn't give his voting right to you.
He didn't submit.
Yeah. Okay. So then we first agree that there's still not enough votes here.
Terry, Nelson, Juman.
Yeah,
Terry,
Nelson,
Juman.
Juman.
Cheer.
Cheer, is it? Cheer. So their votes all out.
Maybe, yeah.
I think they're coming. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think they're coming.
Just give them a text.
I think they got distracted.
All together, same house.
First we give Charmaine.
Yeah. I got exam. I got cheer today.
Before we run this motion, can we have MSC to accept Sean Tan's voting right to be passed to Charmaine for the day? Accepted by Rohit, Gerald, seconded by Franklin. Thank you.
Okay. Now the
Just
motion
minus 3 then?
Yeah,
Terry,
minus
Juman, and Nelson.
Okay. Again for motion 3.
For motion 3, for MSC to agree to not have any business relationship from henceforth with Hyrex 4,
Can you make it Hyrex, Omar, or Osama, just in case?
Hyrex, Omar, or Osama.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13,
USA
14, 15,
Omar Khan.
15.
Osama, Omar.
Against? Abstain?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Plus Junman, Terry, and Nelson.
One question.
Okay, correct.
Okay, thank you guys.
Wait,
Well, I just have a couple of questions. It's not pertaining to you. I think it's more of like in general question. I just want to know what is the standing of MUSA in Monash, because from what I'm hearing is like they are rejecting speakers that we choose on the basis that they are uncredible. Right, if I'm not mistaken.
Not really uncredible, because they have some of the criteria which is
Yeah.
gender balance, and most of our speakers are male compared to the,
Because like I'm seeing like people like Weekend from Burger Lab or Jesh, who is like, I think, well, in they don't have like paper qualifications, but I think in terms of the team, they deserve to be on it. So I'm just thinking is like, if the admin is able to just disregard all this, do we have any right as MUSA to fight and really question them on this perspective? Go with this, because I understand the license is under Monash.
No.
It's under us, or it's under you, or it's under you. Oh, okay. Then either way, also shouldn't we be having at least the ability to choose which speaker we feel is most appropriate? Because it looks like the admin is just controlling us and like.
I wouldn't say controlling, because if you listen to what they have to say, it makes a lot of sense. Like, you see a list of speakers, right? Out of 13 confirmed speakers, only 3 are female. And as much as gender balance shouldn't matter and so on, but to the university it matters because it's first ever cadets in Monash. I wouldn't say they're controlling, but more of supervising and helping us to make it better. Since it's the first, they want to make it the best. And also,
Is gender imbalance solid enough reason to reject these kind of like potential speakers who can really fit the team very well, in my opinion? So it's just
I guess we had to strike also because the maximum we can go would be 12 speakers. And if you want, because we need from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. If we have like all these 13 plus more female speakers, we won't have time for that. It will be so cramped.
So we're rejecting these speakers on the basis only that we don't have enough women on the panel.
I wouldn't say that's the only basis.
Okay, so I think I will also talk about this. Okay, so because TEDx has TEDx Monash University Malaysia on it, so it has the university branding on it. So there are some concerns about how, according to them, that we are not fully prepared and ready for TEDx yet because of its international recognition. Because whatever is done, because for TEDx, as you know, that we need to record it and put it on TED.com. So because of that, they want to make sure that whatever is put out there and is sort of representing Monash, which is of the best composition of whatever it is, and executed at least perfectly.
Yeah.
So that being said, we have to change the date because of the fact that Audi 1 is not available and plenary is also not available, and this is by external company, so we're not able to override that system. And the only other venue that was available was 4108, which was near like at the back, right? And regarding the speakers, because Monash has this thing where we are trying to achieve at least 50% gender diversity. So because of that, they want to include more female speakers. So that being said, we will need to increase the number of speakers as a whole to sort of balance it, or we need to cut down. Which I agree that sometimes cutting down, and I still agree that cutting down is not the best way to go about it. And pretty much that's mainly the few reasons.
I wouldn't say they're controlling, it's more of improvising, because we started this earlier, but we also have new supervisors in the student experience team. Yeah, just changed. So he is honestly very interested to help us. So yeah, I wouldn't say controlling, I would say he's trying to improvise and make it a whole lot better.
In what way are they trying to help us? Are they, because I understand, like, let's say recording and stuff like that, if Monash is very particular about these kind of things, are they providing any kind of physical support in terms of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll be giving FMD will be full at yours now to use.
Yeah, so basically what's gonna happen is that you guys know budget is coming from them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically what's gonna happen is once we settle with all the speakers and everything, we'll be having a coordination meeting with all the departments in Monash. And so let's say like MUSA editorial team is in charge for videography and photography. We'll be putting FMD with you guys. So you guys, like few days in advance, you guys will be dealing with FMD a lot to like make sure the event goes full. So this way we have full support of the university.
And yeah.
And they're trying to make this as big, like you know how our major events like annual ball and so on, TEDx is one of them. Any questions?
Yeah, basically the confirmed speakers, but you're rescheduling weekend, right?
Yes.
So like, would they still be available the weekend?
Yeah, we have to ask them. So things just got the news this afternoon. So we'll be talking to them, I guess somewhere around next week to check the schedule again.
But there may be a possibility that the ones that have been confirmed may not be available on that time.
That way it wouldn't be
complete.
Yeah,
it won't be a complete event, but
one.
there may be some amendments. Yep.
There may be some additional speakers as well.
Sean, yeah?
So we're pushing the TEDx event to week 10.
7th of October.
Yeah, we
Isn't that
can.
going to clash with Wellness Week?
It's a Saturday.
So Saturday, having it on Saturday. Okay. Just making sure.
Sorry, Tiffany, you asked a question?
So if you, let's say those speakers that can't come on week 10, are you still going to reject the first 4 that you reject?
I think that one will have to. We can only decide on that once the confirmed speakers get back to us whether they can make it for week 10. Yeah.
Because we actually also do have other speakers in mind that university also have direct contact with them that we can also get.
And also some speakers that rejected because they couldn't make it for this one.
Yeah, but you can make it for a later date.
Yeah.
So we have actually quite a lot of speakers in hand, just that we need them to confirm.
Any more questions on TEDx? No?
For MSc to accept Vice President's report, accepted by
Gerald.
seconded by
Sean.
Stanley.
Yeah, Stanley.
I think I'm the only one here today.
No, he was the only one who put up.
Next report, CNS.
The first report is about CNS Week. A total of 60 clubs had booths around the foyer as well as the car park area. There was a very good response, and all the clubs set up the booth other than basketball, despite only having it on 3 days. And 4 more booths were set up by the houses so that they can promote their houses and Monash Cup. Then there were also performances by street dance, dance fusion, cheerleading, music club, and chamber orchestra. Then, as well as for the best booth award, we have yet to be decided. We will probably decide and inform them on the next MGM. Then on our second AGM, there was full attendance from all clubs. It was great feedback from them, and we briefed them about the renovation and construction regarding which area they weren't allowed to use, so that they don't have to go through the hassle of like submitting EMR again. Sorry. We also informed the new committees, because some of the clubs renewed their committees for the semester, about the general guidelines and policies on how to submit EMR and the procedures to deal with us. And at the same time, reiterate the rules and regulations even to the old committee, because some of them usually forget about it. That's about it.
Questions?
Didn't inline skating do performance as well?
Yeah, that's why I put ETC, I'm not sure, because there were too many to list. Yeah. Oh, I didn't. Yeah. There were a few more.
New club this semester?
Yeah, one. Chess.
There wasn't a chess class with chess club.
Yeah.
Any more questions? For MSC to accept clubs and societies report, accepted by? Seconded by?
Gerald.
Thank you. Next report, President.
Okay, calm down. Okay, this will be fast, don't worry. Okay, very important. There has been a circular by the government or Ministry of Higher Education that no outdoor events are allowed. For example, like jungle trekking and river rafting and all of that. Okay, until further notice, because there have been some safety concerns and who is going to be liable and all of that. Okay, OB got approved before this came out. That's why. Okay, MUSA departments and clubs, please, CNS, make sure you guys communicate it to them. I'll let you guys know if there's any further updates. Okay? Yep.
Skytrax is not.
Skytrax is not. No, it's not inclusive. I don't think it's inclusive. But if
go on.
yeah, hiking is not allowed. Yeah. Osh will let you know if this falls into this category or not. Okay, but as far as I know, no. Okay.
Go on.
Constraint of space. As you guys know, that the whole campus is under renovation, and there's a serious problem of space. There's no space for booth. There's no space for events. So all the EMRs that have come in, some of them, there's I think 5 more which are still stuck because we cannot find venue. And it's either I approve it and then it gets stuck in FMD, or I try to find a space for you guys, and then that's what I've been doing for the past like 2 weeks. Okay? So please bear in mind that your events might be needed to move from week 3 to week 4, like what Sean's week 4 to week 3 and all that, because like what Sean is facing. Okay? And if there's any booth or anything like that, please send it in so that I can get it done with FMD. Okay? Next is seed hogging campaign. Seed hogging campaign. As you guys know, LLC did a seed hogging campaign last semester during the SWOT-VAC exam period, and welfare officer Sean has gone and spoken to them about the effectiveness of it. I'll let him discuss about it later on. Okay. MUSA website. So publicity officers initially wanted to do their website, but I think it's more feasible if we work together with the university to do our existing website. So all new changes have already been listed out, and they'll be working on it soon. I'll let Priyanka discuss about that later on. Next, SWOT-VAC and tutorial room availability. So last semester, increased capacity for students to study during SWOT-VAC periods. These included Building 9, Library, Extended Area, Computer Lab 9, 10, 11, Library, tutorial rooms, and new building cafeteria. Albeit tutorial rooms being from 10 rooms in last year to 2 rooms this year, but they have been allocated to other spaces. I'm awaiting for FMD's data to show us whether we require more space or not. But based on what I've seen on campus, it only peaks during the day. So that means perhaps during the day we open up more tutorial rooms, and during the night they close back up. So that sort of mitigates any issue, because night most spaces are still very empty. Okay. Next, MUSA elections and constitution. So the MUSA constitution, MUIS and CNS constitution have been merged together already. We've already sent, Priyanka has sent you guys a copy of it. The necessary amendments, only 2 departments came back to us, VPs and CNS, about some concerns, and we've already amended it to, we've already amended the changes already. Okay. Besides that, the electoral process, as you guys know, the ticket registration has started this week and it's already been closed. All MUSA members and subdivision members are reminded to be neutral throughout the whole electoral period, and Priyanka will discuss that further later on. MUSA forum updates. We conducted our first MUSA forum on the 12th of April. Feedback was collected and sent in an Excel sheet to the university and MUSA departments in charge. And okay, and it took I'm so sorry for the delayed response, but it took extremely long for the university to get back to me with the responses that they had. Okay, anyway, I've already got it back. I've already discussed with the editors to do a video to basically convey all the feedback that I received from the university. Okay, we'll be shooting the video tomorrow at 11 o'clock. The next MUSA forum will be organized later on after the updates from this video is basically synced into the student population, because if not, then they're going to ask the same questions again. Okay. Health and Wellness Week, the School of Medicine and Health Sciences reps, Ijun and Zilin, where are you guys? Zilin's here. They wanted to organize a physical and mental health campaign, and as you guys know, welfare also does that every year. Muiz came and spoke to me about it as well, a component of it. We've got mental health ambassadors and the first aid bureau, the club, who would like to organize something similar. But due to the lack of time and the lack of space, the university has said that there will be only one health and wellness week with various components. So I'll be setting up a WhatsApp group tentatively tomorrow to discuss with these 4 or 5 different parties. Okay. So those are the different parties. Okay. Meeting is set and it will be tentatively next week. Alright, next is Human Library. Have you guys heard of Human Library before? Okay, some of you guys. So Human Library is basically like, let's say I was a homeless guy who became a CEO. So let's say I'm called the homeless CEO. So I'm basically a book, and I'll come to campus and maybe gather a group of like 4 or 5 people to sit down and I'll share my story. So instead of people reading a book of how to become a CEO, they basically hear my experience. So I'm basically the book to them. Okay. So this Human Library initiative was presented last semester, but due to the fact that they weren't responding very well, they only got back to us in semester 2. So a few books have been identified: Transgender, Sentul Boy, Autism, Celebrity, The Homeless CEO, and Sexually Abused. Sexually Abused. So these individuals will be invited on our campus and to share their experiences on topics. So it will not be like a speaker series or anything like that. They'll just probably be underneath the umbrella or something, and 4 or 5 people will be there. Okay, this is funded by the university, so dates will be tentative. Right? MUSA Info Week, as the publicity officers have already planned it out well enough. So Monday and Thursday we'll be having a booth there. We've got Radio Monash also helping us out, and on the other 2 days, 8th and 9th, we'll be in the office. So I'll let the publicity officers talk about that later on. So this year, what we thought is, for the elections, because last year there were a lot of concerns of if I want to run, who do I run with, who do I approach as a ticket holder and all that. So this year there will be a board, and whatever, let's say team A, team B, and the positions available. So let's say I would like to run for SOB rep. I will go to the EC booth and ask, it seems that that SOB rep is available, and the EC will connect the student to the ticket holder, and the ticket holder will decide whether they want or do not want to include them. So at least there is a sort of a matching and bridging kind of thing, instead of everybody not knowing how to go about it. Okay? So yeah. Okay. Suicide Prevention Day is basically an initiative by the counselling department, and they would like to see how MUSA can be involved in that. I've already discussed with Sean. I've sent the email to you, Sean. Please get back to me by this weekend on this. Okay? how we can help out. TEDx, the VP's already discussed basically everything. So this is just a brief one. Monash Billboard and Classified. So MUPA in the beginning, ending of last semester, approached us and said that they would like to set up. Approached us and they like to set up Monash Billboard and Classified. So you know like how we sell our textbooks on Facebook, but there are different Facebook pages, right? And sometimes like because last time the admin was there and then now the admin changed and after they set up a new Facebook page. So what we're planning to do, and this is still in discussion, is that we'll set up a billboard website like thing and we'll work with ITS and we'll have like tabs like School of Business, School of IT, School of Science, and they can sell from their books to whatever else. It doesn't have to be books only. It could be, let's say, an international student. Maybe you want to sell your phone or you want to sell your car or rent out your car or something like that. It can be done. Okay. So this is just an initiative. We'll be discussing next week to see whether it's possible. Okay. Update list. So as you guys know, the first update list was sent to you guys on 22nd of June to be completed with your events and initiatives and targeted dates. I've already submitted that to the university and they said that's a very good initiative because it helps FMD and events office and all to work together. Another round of updates will be required. MUSA members need to adhere to the deadlines as these are required to be updated by uni. Because last update list, I set a deadline but everybody's only sent to me 1 or 2 weeks later, so it was a bit hard for me to coordinate with the uni. And please make sure all the information are there. So it's not just the date of the event, it's perhaps when you want to start marketing, what do you need, what is still pending and all of that. If the event initiative has been completed, put under update 2, because I'll basically make another column and put there update 2 and I just put there completed and it's done. Deadline for submission of the second round of updates is 14th of August, so that gives you about 2 weeks from now. Okay, I'll send you guys the list tonight or tomorrow morning so that you guys can work on it. Checklist. So in the beginning of the last year when we ran, we decided that a lot of students are only seeing us or they feel that we lie to them, that we promise certain things and we don't get it done. So what we promised last year was that we do a checklist and put it out there that what are the things we promised and why, whether we've done it or not, and if it's not done, why not, right? So MUSA has been disregarded as students, and this is a problem from every year, from Shihab's year to Shah's year to our year, and they feel that we make empty promises just for the votes. So we must prove them wrong. Hence, our target should be accomplishing at least 80% of our promises, if not all. Okay, because I know that sometimes that we're not able to complete all our promises due to logical reasons, and we must explain the reasons why. Okay, I would like everyone to send me the list of promises that were made during last year's campaigning and elections. The list will be printed out as a checklist and posted all over campus. Basically a check and balance of our progress. This also includes new ideas. So if let's say you promised 4 things and you've done 3 out of the 4 things and you've done another 3 things which are not promised, please just add them in and just put a star, something like new idea or something like that. So I can put there that even that we didn't do that 1 but we did another 3. Okay? Deadline for submission of this checklist for all MUSA bodies is 14th of August as well. So I've basically coordinated both together. Okay? Anybody has any questions? Yeah.
Could you go up to the first one, I think? Okay.
Yeah.
Because to me it's very vague. Like, could you emphasize more on what specifically are they not allowing?
Okay.
So for orientation bashes,
I think that's a guideline, right?
No, basically the title of the circular says that no outdoor activities are allowed. But as I read through it, it's clear that it means hiking or jungle trekking or river rafting and those kinds of things. So until the government gives a clear guideline, it's tentatively none. But you guys still submit your AMRs and then OSH will run through them, because here in Monash University Malaysia we have quite a stringent OSH committee already. So if they are okay and they give somewhat an assurance that it's good to go, then it's fine. So you can still submit the AMR, but please be aware that there may or may not be changes. So that's something that you all need to take into account. Yes, Kevin.
Is there a reason why
I think no, because for other universities, I think it wasn't our university, but there have been other universities where incidents have happened and there have been legal issues with that. So then it comes down to who is liable. Is it the university or is it the organizers of the event? And coming to that, if let's say we do an event and we go out of campus, if we take the student there, we have to bring the student back. Because if the student wants to leave earlier, that's not allowed. Because we had an issue during OB that a group of people wanted to leave and we told them no. Because if you let them go and if they on the way stop by a track or something like that and get stuck and something happens to them, then where does the jurisdiction lie that we are still liable or not? Okay, so make sure if you guys take them there, make sure you bring them back, and after that our job is done.
A marathon's allowed, like running.
Marathon?
I think there's one coming
I mean like races and all that? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Wait, to be clear, the outdoor activities just generally entail nature a lot.
Yeah, wilderness kind of thing.
Places like we've been to for OB, that's fine.
We had the jungle trekking.
Besides this one, I mean, like previous ones.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah.
Alright,
okay.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
Regarding the example you're giving, like students like wanting to leave halfway through the event.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys should actually give like a beforehand warning to that. Like you can't leave during the event itself, so we have to stick throughout the event itself.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. So we'll put it. The university is coming up with a guideline on how to form. I know we have an indemnity form, but they're coming up with the one that is used in Australia, where it's sort of we can amend it to our local, aspects to it. Yeah. Any other question based on this? No? Okay, alright.
Are we allowed to know like how many parties?
Not until Monday. Yeah. Oh, sorry, you want to say that?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, yeah.
So you're gonna say like this?
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so last year, is you guys remember that the MUSA 2016 did amendment to the constitution that said that for shared positions, you must run as 2 people. If not, it's invalid, right? Now, what happened is I spoke to, because then Serene came with the problem, and I think they would have thought of this problem also, that let's say if only one is running, then what happens? It obviously becomes disqualified, right? So if that becomes disqualified, then how do we move forward? That means they run for the by-election. That means from the month of December, January, February until the by-election, that position is empty. Am I confusing anybody now? No? Okay. So yeah. Then I spoke to Shah and to just understand his reasoning behind it, and he said that it's because of the weight of the work plus most of the work is like split into 2 because there's 2 components to the portfolio. So what happened was I discussed with him, and he said that there is both upsides and downsides to that in that sense. So right now we can discuss this if you guys want for the next 5 minutes on if anybody has any other solution to this. Right now we can basically, there's only 2 options. Number 1, we leave it as it is, or amend it. And if you amend it, it will be back to what it was before, that there's no definition of what a shared position is. It could be either 1 or 2. Yeah.
Are school reps shared positions?
From now onwards, yes.
So even though we have 2 separate voting rights, we both have to run together.
Yeah.
Why?
That was run in the last MSc.
That was the one that shared positions.
Yeah.
Not that one voting right.
That also was run, but that didn't get through. Remember?
That was a long time.
No,
That was 1 month ago. Yeah. So now all positions are shared positions now.
Okay.
But this problem persists even before that happened. Because let's say if there was only 1 treasurer, then we would not have had any treasurer then.
Okay, so what was Serene's question?
Yeah, her question was specific to the School of Pharmacy, but then I broadened it and yeah.
So what was the question?
Yeah.
Okay, so there'll be nobody in that position, then you have to go for by-elections. That was the problem there. Okay.
Yeah.
Understand.
No, because you wouldn't have an activities.
I'm going solo now anyway.
No, but you would not have been able to run. Yeah.
I think the best way to go is like you can for shared positions. It's not like you actually have to share it, but it's a maximum number of shared. So a shared position in this context is a maximum of 2 people. So you can run alone, but technically it's like in a way when you want to have more people, it's okay, but maximum of 2.
The But this indefinitely basically revokes Shah's motion.
I think change it would be
Yeah.
much more.
Yeah, so no, I mean, it's open to the floor. It's open to the floor.
Can I ask, like,
Yeah.
for us department heads, right, that we run with a partner,
Yeah.
do we have 2 voting rights each or just
No,
one as well?
one.
So one.
Only school reps have 2 voting rights.
But they run as shared position.
Yeah. Because their justification to have 2 voting rights was not whether they ran singular or plural, 1 or 2. The reason why they felt that they needed 1 voting right each is because they understood the students better. So that was the reasoning. It wasn't because they were running 1 or 2.
Isn't this motion supposed to be carried in Priyanka's one?
No, I mean this is a discussion. Yeah. No, because Serene just asked me. Yeah. So thoughts?
Is it too late to change?
Yeah, I mean.
Honestly, I think it's necessary to have a shared position because I'm not sure about John, but I'm suffering.
Oh yeah, no,
Sean doesn't look like it.
that's why it was run last year.
I'm surviving. I'm actually have less stress.
But if you run below, it still comes back to. It still comes back to.
I don't think it'd be that difficult. I don't know. I'm just saying for my own, but I don't think it'd be that difficult to find a partner, right?
I think I remember why it was run last year.
Yep.
It's because last year you had some departments which I will not name here, who basically only one partner was doing all the work. Because reps last time were not a shared position. Reps you could still run individually. But they had positions like, that were struggling alone. Right? You're struggling alone now, right? There were some positions that were struggling alone, so they implemented this rule so that people will not suffer like them.
But so what happens, let's say VP position and nobody runs at all because there's been one person that wants to run and she doesn't have a partner. So what happens? Means the VP position goes later until by election?
There was never that problem so.
I mean last year there was only one VP running.
No.
Like one person wants to run, let the person run, and after that the second person chooses it.
But we can't change anything now, right? It's too late already because the election has already been given out. So I think that this is a question for MUSA 2018, not for us already. Because we can't change anything.
This can be
You can't change anything now. It's too late.
Yeah.
The election process has
But you guys seriously, especially us and also orientation, treasurers, whatever, if only one person runs and they want full recruitment.
Okay, so I spoke. Okay, so this is basically a double-edged sword. Both ways are not workable because I discussed. Trust me, I discussed this extensively with MUSA 2016. I discussed it with Priyanka. I discussed it with the uni, and both options are at a loss. Okay, so then we came up with somewhat a mediation. So let's say right now, Sean, I'm so sorry, I use you as an example.
It's okay, I'm used to
Okay. Okay, so let's say Sean is one only now, right? And let's say he were to resign also. Okay, that means there will be literally nobody in welfare's portfolio, right? Which would be the case like what you're saying right now. Then, inevitably and unavoidably, the executive committee and the president has to fill in that portfolio. So this has never happened before, but if it were to happen, then the president has to fill in that portfolio anyway, as it is now. So if I put that context into the problem we are facing today, that let's say there's only one treasurer and that treasurer obviously is not allowed to run, so there's a vacant position, right? For that 3 months, the president will have to wear 2 hats until the by-election comes. Yeah. That if I'm using the same theory to this.
It's the purpose of the MUSA 216 because they wanted to even out the workload, but now it's just animal.
I think it's unfair to say that because that was back in their time. Currently, is what we feel is best, and if we want to revoke what they decided, then it's in the interest because things change, so we need to adapt to it. If you need to change, then we change. But I don't think we can.
Now it's too late.
Yeah.
Right now, I think the only mediating factor would be the solution that I just told you all.
But nominations has not started yet.
No, nominations has not started yet.
So,
Hasn't the guidelines come out already?
Yeah, I think it's
No, the guidelines have been published but hasn't been disseminated yet. No.
if it's not been disseminated, I'm sure we can still amend one.
Huh?
I think this should be a
Yeah.
gen set, but in my opinion, I don't think
decide.
Say no.
But
Stay. Or is it possible to hold an earlier by-election? I don't know if that makes sense.
that's a possibility.
How early?
Instead of waiting all the way to February.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Since results are all
After the
September 9.
results are out already, and then you can like a few weeks later or
But then
maybe
you
1
only
week later
start
run a by-election as soon as
We only
possible.
start in Feb. Like majority of the students are not even back yet.
No, I'm talking about.
No, he's talking about semester 2.
The semester. As in, if co-election results are on September 9, you have like 6 weeks until the end of.
Yeah, but,
No, but still.
that's the most feasible one. Yeah, if we have to do it, we have to do
If
it.
you have to do it, then you have to do it.
Yeah.
So rather than
Yeah, that's a
revoking the
possibility.
motion-
That's a possibility. Yes.
Rather than revoking
Yeah, wait,
the
wait,
motion-
guys.
I think adding on to what Janesh says, whatever you guys choose, I think the executive committee must come up with a protocol in case anything happens. As in, you know, you're
Because-
wearing two hats, right?
Yeah.
You should create a solid protocol if the
event
position is vacant.
Because let's say, right, because even let's say, right now we're talking about 1, but what if there's 0 people running? Then let's say there's 0 people running for treasurers. Either way, the president or the executive committee has to sit
Create a
in.
protocol where you elect interim someone
treasurer.
coming in interim that can take the load off you.
From previous year lah. If they really that one.
Yeah.
So
I think the interim one was the solution that we thought of. That the MSc of that year, that means let's say MSc 2018 will appoint an interim person to sit in that portfolio while that's happening. So for example, let's say there's no activity chairperson, okay? Then for that few months, maybe one of the welfare officer will be appointed as the activity chairperson. And if nobody is willing to be appointed, then it just falls on the executive committee to do it. Because either way, even if it happens now, that would be the protocol to follow. Yeah.
If we revoke 2016's motion and if let's say one person running for a set position, let that person go. Maybe the next year that person get assistant or instead of waiting for a by-election, that way one person is not doing 2 people's work. Is that possible?
You're only talking about the 3 months only, right?
No, the assistant will stay on until.
Yeah, no, but either way, we could run the by-election for 2 positions.
Because
Then,
like this semester elections ends in week 7.
Yeah.
If you want to have by-elections week 10, week 11, isn't that too late for by-elections already?
it's never been done before.
By-election
Yeah. Huh?
straight away after.
We can have an immediate one. I think it's feasible.
Why? But
No, okay. Let me tell you. Okay, I'm not sure whether.
Why
Okay.
is by-elections being held in Sem 1 instead of Sem 2? Is there a reason?
No, there's no reason.
Because we come into
Because
No, there's no reason.
no point having a by-election in semester 2 because about the terms like this one term.
No, okay. Okay, let's say now we take a scenario of 0 people, right? Let's say 0 people apply for treasurer. That position becomes vacant. So on the 16th of August, that position becomes, there's nobody contesting for that, right? The position reopens again for another 2 days. And that's where they only fill up the unfilled positions. So this will be the same case if it's for 1, because 1 would equal to nil, right? And then it will be reopened again. So all that needs to be done is, once it's reopened again, for everyone to find a partner. And if this were to be the case, then like I said, you just continue with it. Then it's either we move the by-election from semester 1 next year to semester 2 this year, should it happen, or revoking the motion. Like I think I agree with Sam, it may be a bit too late, mainly because most parties have already been starting to work on the assumption based on what has been provided as of last semester. Because that's why, remember, the last MSc was the most important one, because after that there's no more changes already, because that is what we were working with. So it's either we move the if there's going to be a by-election, to move the by-election nearer, or we just let somebody to be appointed as an interim, and that will be dependent on the next MSc to fill in their shoes for the next 3 months. This is of course for positions all across the board. Yeah.
Does it solve the problem of if only one person wants to So during the by-election, that one person run.
Okay, so
Or that person still needs to get a number.
when I spoke to Shah, and I gave him the exact same scenario. So let's say 1 now disqualified. So 0, then there's a gap. By election, there's still 1 again. Shah said at that point in time, the MSC can decide that because the election regulations state that you're following this, but should there be an extraordinary incident or circumstance, the MSC may be able to make judgments there and then. Yeah.
So our stand on that would be.
But how does the one person know? Like for example, one person wants to run for the elections can't run. They have to run for by-elections, but that's only special case if MSC decides that okay that person can run. But how would that person even apply? She would be thinking that oh I can't run because I don't have a partner. You get what I'm trying to say?
Or she'll work to find a partner. No?
And she still can't get a partner?
And that's where I guess the immediate.
That's where this calls for an extraordinary circumstance where the MSC will have to decide.
That MSC can make a decision saying
So let's say that so she wouldn't apply, right? Obviously.
Yeah, so she wouldn't apply because she doesn't know.
Okay, and then the nominations will close, right? Then by then the MSC will realize that nobody's applied. Possibility, maybe somebody heard that this one girl wanted to run but there's nobody, and or they realize that the possibility why this is happening is perhaps because of the 1 person rule, and then they'll have to deal with it at that point in time. Because here we're talking about under normal circumstances, are we following the guidelines or not? Then under special circumstances, do we follow guidelines or not?
So she doesn't apply, then MSC realize that nobody is running for that position and they say 1 person can apply.
Okay.
Then again you're going to open by elections?
Open up the nomination because nobody ran. Huh? 108. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you think that like there will be some parties that will have the one who decide to get 1,000 from what
so far
from the team now?
I wouldn't know because it's only been ticket registration, but
what are the chances of it happening?
Slimmer than last year, I would say.
Slimmer than last year.
Slimmer than last year.
So there is still a chance that they will be running individually for a share position?
No.
So what would?
No, as in there is a possibility that the scenario that Serene is describing may not be happening.
As in that there's nobody running for a particular position?
Okay, because prior to last year, this 1 person running scenario has never happened.
Okay.
Prior to last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think we should still be prepared just in case if 1 person wants to run and that person can't run thinking as a shared position, and that way that position is empty.
And the preparation, I think, is either the immediate by-election or the interim.
I think the immediate by-election or the interim is the best solution at this
Interim, then
point.
what happens when by-election happens?
Then the interim steps down.
No, okay, we choose the interim if the by-election doesn't happen. But if the by-election does happen and that still happens again, then it fall back to the
Means
interim.
MSC just finds anyone to fill up that
Yes.
position. Then will that person stay on until the whole year?
No, as an interim only one.
No, but that person is not a student.
Yeah.
Why can't the interim be someone of the MSC itself?
Double.
I mean, it's just for that specific time.
But
What if it's like
also,
vice president and then president?
That's the thing. Can we make it such that it falls on the executive committee just for that time?
but isn't the first 3 months very crucial for you to plan the events you want to have for your whole year?
It is. But if what other way do you go about it? Because I'm not very favorable with the idea of getting a student to be an interim.
I feel it's unfair if that person becomes an interim and once you get by-election, that person steps down.
Yeah.
It's really unfair.
That's why he
Right.
she can't be a student.
I think the best way is an immediate by-election because when you're having a by-election, you are die, you have to find people.
And if you die, cannot find
Yeah, then
No, but the possibilities are endless then. If you're looking at possibilities.
ensure
why
that
can't the
you don't have
interim
to
stay
find.
on for the whole year? Instead of again another by-election. That means
It's kind of like
That means
there's
nobody voting for it. But if that solution is, that means you're appointing.
Guys,
That means if that is the solution for the interim to stay on the whole year, that means no longer call an interim, is We're basically appointing an MSc member.
So can
There's no point for elections then.
You're just appointing people only.
So can the interim run for by-elections if he or she wants to?
Yeah, by all
That's yeah, but what?
But an interim is
No,
our
but
last
see,
measure.
but the
It's our last measure.
preferably
If it's interim or student, what is it?
I'm an MSc member.
Oh.
What? No, what Priyanka and I are talking about is an interim from the MSc board.
That means,
itself.
okay, whoever that runs for this annual elections, they run for the elections.
Guys,
they win
listen.
already. Please listen. They run for the elections, they win the positions that they win. And then should there be a vacancy in any position, say the treasurer portfolio, whoever that is the president, the GenSec or the vice presidents, can they be the interim of the treasurer portfolio? Yes, it's a lot, but just for the time period, I can maybe talk to the next GenSec and say maybe bring forward the by-election so that that person doesn't have to hold the position for a really long time lah.
Yeah.
Instead of getting a student to be the interim and then asking the student to leave later on, I mean that's not fair to the student lah.
Because if he does all the work in the beginning of the year and then he or she runs for the
But
by-election,
how will the MSc knows? Okay, for example, let's say treasury is vacant and VPs have to fill up. How will I know what should their goal be?
If the student is going to run as an interim,
it'll be the same case.
No, but the student should know from the start that no matter what, after 3 months, you're still going to run.
You're only thinking this way because you sat in this position for a very long time.
So,
you think it's unfair. But
you can't, if it's unfair, then don't run as an interim.
Yeah, when you promote it as an interim, you are and if he or she willingly takes it up, he will know that he or she will have to leave.
So does this person run for an interim or do you
No,
appoint
no,
an interim?
appoint.
And on what grounds do you appoint a person?
Voluntary basis.
You can't just say
It
voluntary.
will basically somebody connected to us anyway.
That's why it's a MUSA member.
But that's why it's
That's why it has to be an MSc member.
Isn't the best way?
Yeah, sorry, Brandon.
Yeah, but just want to mention something about treasurer position. I don't think you can appoint somebody just to be a treasurer lah.
Exactly.
Because treasurer got some P&C stuff that only treasurer should know.
Can it? So president also cannot.
Definitely not lah. So it's about it involves money lah.
Yeah.
Something like the combination of pay and all the stuff.
Yeah.
Sure, go on.
So I think the first
I think the amount of sorry.
The first mode of action would be to have an immediate by-election. And then after that only, see, we're looking at so many cases here. Instead of 2 going to be 1 or 0, and if it's 1 or 0, then reopen again, still 1 or 0. And then after that immediate by-election, still 1 or 0. And 1 or 0, then only interim. That's so many possibilities. Not to say that it will not happen, but this one scenario has never happened except for last year, which then they realized that it.
Don't you think the safest way is still if one person wants to run, let that person run and find an assistant after that? At least that person can still plan for the whole year. There's no fee in, like, private
Is the
confidential stuff.
assistant same level as the
The university has said no.
Yeah.
No. I asked already.
So, why can't it be that way? Isn't it better because that way the direction of the whole MSc is still together?
But see, there's a drawback in that. Let's say, right, you and I running for VPs, right? If I want to outsmart the system, you run in party A, I run in party B. No matter what, either one of us has to win, unless there's a third party lah. But let's say you and I, either one of us has to win, right? It's either you or me. So if you win, you appoint me, and I win, you appoint you.
But every way there's a.
Yeah, that's why every way there's a
we have
loophole.
to see which is the lesser loss to the MSc.
Yeah, so that's why immediate by-election is the least amount of loss, because you're trying to match it with 2, and it's a fair election where students vote for you, and when students vote and if nobody's running, then you reopen it, still not, then you go for by-election.
So if by-election so only one person wants
Then you appoint an interim. And see, you're talking about if, which may or may not happen. We're talking about, there's a possibility, yes, but we can't work on every single possibility because it's not workable.
I think our best option now is the idea publicity come out with the info week.
And
we
also,
will know which positions have no one.
And because it's going to be in front of the foyer where, let's say, pharmacy. So if let's say team A pharmacy, one of it is closed, so obviously the other pharmacy is open. So if there's a pharmacy student who wants to go for that, they will just contact the AC, which has never been done before. And this will also, I think Priyanka will coordinate with publicity to put it up online also. So this basically scoreboard is going to go online and hard publicity.
Everywhere, basically.
Everywhere. Okay. Anything else about the elections?
After the by-election, one person want to run, 10 or not?
No.
It works the same way.
It works the same way.
So it will go back to zero lah.
Yeah.
We won't be doing it. If only one person runs for by-election, it's like pretty much the same thing. So we're not moving
It works the same way.
by-election.
Okay, next question. Also regarding chair positions. If somebody resigns.
Okay.
You did not.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, because like, yeah, somebody resigns.
Pass it on to Priyanka.
Yeah. Okay, wait. Anything else about the Priyanka? Okay. Except this one.
Huh?
Motion 16.
Except
Oh.
motion, except motion.
Wait, so
Then what is the
yeah,
conclusion
what
of
did we
this?
decide? Pause.
During
Priyanka's one.
Which
Okay.
is now lah.
Okay.
Just now.
Okay, just accept Janisha for the
Okay, for MSC to accept President's report accepted by
Sean.
which Sean?
Only Sean.
Sorry. Second by
Yeah.
who?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Okay, chill a bit. I thought about other things first. Okay. In 8 it's 7:20.
But you can't eat food and play.
Hey.
Want to give everyone 5 minutes break?
I think we can leave it after. What time is break?
Because I have 2 motions here.
I'm not going
We
anywhere.
run motion first.
Yeah, but then it's over.
What are you doing?
Or just let her eat lah.
You go take.
Yeah, I still got badminton, huh? I got dodgeball. I got bowling, Monash Cup. Yeah, I study for exam, man.
No, we're not stopping.
Okay, I'll continue first. Okay, first thing first is the annual elections protocols. Office bearers who are seen or found to be biased towards any candidates will receive warning letters. And this is without prior verbal warning, okay? Current office bearers who are planning to rerun or who misuse their position and power to promote themselves or parties will also receive warning letters, and again, without prior verbal warning. The Election Commission and update so far. The returning officer is a student from Sunway University. His name is Ahmad Anik. You can call him Nick. Deputy returning officer is Arisha. Assistant returning officers are both my subcoms, which the motion was run and it passed. Ticket registration has closed as of today 5 p.m. Election Commission will post the full list of registered tickets by Monday, so I cannot disclose how many parties there are. Briefing for the annual elections will be on Monday, 7th of August, 5:30 p.m. It will take place at LT 6008. Office bearers are cordially invited to the briefing. Please try to ensure that one member of each of your portfolio is there to attend the questions, should there be any from the students. Yes, you have to be there.
It's a question I think we should bring up.
There's only 2 of us.
What is the actual definition of each of our roles? I think that's not very verbally put down in like black and white. That's
Not yet, yeah. Not yet.
Yeah, so I think that's something we need to address.
That is something I will be doing at the end of the year. Okay.
End of the year,
SOP.
SOP that I'll be working on. Okay, another thing, please take note that I would need you guys to come up with questions for the policy speeches, as in, you know how when you're running for positions and everything, we have to answer questions and put it in the election guide, right? I don't want to use the same mainstream questions again. So I want each department to discuss with their partner and whatnot and submit to me 4 questions. And it has to be by Monday, the 7th of August.
Why do you think you're the best?
Okay, this goes in the election guide, okay? 7th of August, please take note. Next is the 2 email motions that were run over the winter break. One was to have all office bearers and members of the MUSA bodies elected at the annual elections to hold those positions from the following 1st January to 31st December. Basically, it was getting the activities chairperson to begin and end at the same time as all other office bearers. It also means Franklin will be extending another month. 4 was 8 against 6, abstain 2, spoil votes was 6, and you all know why. Motion is carried. The next one is to have the MSC approve the appointment of my subcommittee members to be the election commission, to fill in the remaining positions in the election commission. Spoil votes 2, 4, 11, against 6, abstain 4, motion is carried. Okay, next will be to endorse. These are the 2 motions that I will be running. Okay, the email I sent out to you guys last week, Saturday, with the newly merged constitution. So basically what we did was we merged the CNS and MUIS constitution together with the MUSA constitution, and they both become parts in the constitution, and I hope that you've all read it because only 2 departments came back to us. So any more questions? No? So can we please what?
Where's the
Ask the question for this, right?
Hey,
Monday.
you're handling our money, huh?
Monday LT 6008.
Remind me.
Remind yourself. Okay, can I'm going to run the motion now. Motion 7, to accept the newly merged and written MUSA constitution and to acknowledge the document as the official document of MUSA. 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20.
Yourself? Against?
It's fine.
Against?
Oh, against?
Abstain?
1, 2. No, because he's MUIS.
CNS?
Are you having CNS?
No, Tiffany.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Missing 1 vote.
Okay.
Tiffany, you're supposed to abstain, by the way. Again, no, because this is a merge of the MUIS and CNS constitution into the MUSA constitution.
No,
Yeah, but by right.
No, but technically, for this one, I think nobody has to abstain. Actually, because in the CNS and the MUSA constitution, it says that nobody can amend the MUIS and CNS. Nobody can amend the MUIS and CNS parts besides MUIS and CNS themselves. So technically, they should be able to vote. Yeah, they should be able to vote. Okay.
Okay. Again, 4.
4 again. Motion, you're allowed to vote for again. Okay. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, 20, yeah.
Against?
Against?
Abstain?
Abstain. 1, 2, 3. Nelson's vote is not here.
Wait, how is it that Tiffany
Nelson's right there. Huh? Nelson, you voted, right?
Did you vote just now for 4?
Yeah. Did you come, Jasmine?
Yeah. Jasmine, did you put up now again for abstain? Okay, 4.
Motion is carried. Thank you. I love you. Okay. The next one is to revoke my voting right as a student at the annual elections. The reason is because I am too involved in the elections, being because my subcoms are also part of the election commission, and also because I am planning literally everything. Yeah lah. So as the general secretary and as a student of Monash itself, I will not be voting for the annual elections, and this should be the case for here on out, because it's stated in the MUIS constitution that the moment she starts planning the MUIS elections back then, the person loses their voting right, and it's not stated in the MUSA constitution, and I feel that that should be the case with the MUSA General Secretary as well. So the motion is to accept the proposal to revoke the voting right of the General Secretary as a student at the MUSA annual elections from henceforth. 4. I love you guys.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Against? Oh, is that? No. Abstain?
1, 3.
4.
Yeah.
Motion is carried. Okay. Okay, now what just now y'all wanted to talk about other stuff, right?
So right now the issue is settled with MUSA improving.
Right. Wait, what? Again?
The issue is settled with MUSA improving because
What was the issue to begin with?
if one person wants to run and that person cannot run for a shared position because only one person. But MUSA improving allows that person to join with another party's one person or something.
Do y'all think that's good enough? Do you
temporary, but I think it's temporary.
Okay. Should the info week not be enough, and should there be a vacancy in any of the positions after nominations close completely, and then we run for elections, blah blah blah, elections over, then what happens? Do we have any immediate by-elections?
No, but that's what's to be done. It has to be done.
Isn't there anything else?
No, there's no other way. Yep.
Yes, please.
My report is not on there, but I would like to share about
Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
Does anyone have any questions regarding MUSA improving? You guys know what? So that when you schedule
Please listen.
so like the schedule that you guys filled in, right? Has everyone filled in a slot? That's right. So I know some of you all actually fill in for more than 2 slots, which is fine. So let's say if you have time within those 2, even though you fill in those 2 time slots but you have extra time, feel free to go over to the booth, because I think most students would tend to go to the booth because freedom of is quite involved in it. So like there's that noise there, so people will go there. So all you have to do is just be stationed there and just get students to come to you lah, and use the cookies and the badge to sort of lure them towards the booth, and in a good way, and just to basically your main role is to explain to them what MUSA does lah, and the different departments that MUSA has, and yeah. So everyone cool? So for Monday and Thursday will be in the foyer, but Tuesday and Wednesday, because of like the space and all this stuff, we're doing it in office. So when you really allocated your slot in the Google Sheet, right, even though it's not going to be a foyer, so just be present in your office now, because you don't know, some students would just come to the office. Okay? Any questions? Okay, thank you.
So how will, let's say I'm running alone and MUSA improving is supposed to help. So how do I go about it?
You will.
You're running alone, and how is MUSA improving?
I want to run, I got no part, yeah.
You want to run, you got no partner. So you go to the booth, you see which party has the word vice president on it, then you inform the person who is at the booth, which will be the EC member, the election commission member. They will take down your details, they will pass it to whichever party that has that vacancy. They will pass it to the ticket holders, and then you will liaise with the ticket holder from there.
They are there the whole time.
The ECs, yeah.
Okay.
Because the booth will be the same time that our booths are there for info week.
So you're going to put, like, but nominations has not started yet, right?
It will sync in time lah. Oh, because we're starting on Monday, right? The booths will be there on Monday and Thursday. Nominations open on Wednesday. And it'll also be on social media.
Okay, so for example, VP, right? Let's say the ticket holder is let's say someone from the team is the ticket holder, and the VP in that team is only one person. Will we know that it's only one person?
The team will still be there because it's not filled yet. What?
Okay.
You can just tell if you want.
But can you go for nomination if you're only one person?
No, but nomination is 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's for 2 weeks, so you still have 2 weeks to find people.
We have 2 weeks to check the scoreboard every day, which will be updated. Whether that
The
position.
info week is only for 1 week, yes. So that means physically the boards will be there only for the week, but there will be constant updates online.
So the vacancy will just be vacant, not 1 or 2. You get what I mean?
Sorry?
As in, if the position is vacant, it will not state that one person is running or 0 people are running for that position. It just states that it's vacant.
Maybe say lah, because if it's like BP got 2, right? Maybe then we can put 2 lah. So if like that same
If there's
party
only one
has
position.
already 1, so we remove 1 ticket. So then there will be 1 more this one there to show that we need 1 more BP.
So it's like a classified.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Looking for friends.
Yeah.
So I think that will make it easier to
Yeah.
to temporarily fix this problem when Surrey put out.
And if this doesn't fix the situation, then an immediate by-election.
Okay, done.
No, my question earlier.
What you
What's your
want?
question?
Share positions. If somebody resigns in the term, what happens?
I asked this question to Franklin and Sean when their time came. And in Franklin's situation, by right, he was supposed to step down and run for by-election. But
What? Huh?
anyway, and he by practice he was supposed to step down and run for by-election, but we gave him the option to run alone, as in remain alone, or he appoints someone lah, and he decided to
Run alone.
no, as in
Remain
go
alone.
forth alone, because he believes that his pool of subcoms are more than capable to fill in the missing shoe.
But that was before. Was it?
No, because
Sorry. That was before by-elections. That's why you gave him
Post by-elections.
Oh, post.
Yeah, it was just after by-elections. I closed the accounts for by-elections, and then it happened.
So,
But the question is that in the constitution, it doesn't say that if a shared position were to step down, as in one half of the shared position is to step down, what happens then? Because it doesn't say whether both have to step down or not. So I think that's something that we need to clarify.
Yeah. Considering how now everything is a shared position besides the president and the general secretary. I think what happens there?
In my personal opinion, I think that let's say if partner A and B, A steps down, I don't think we should force B to step down because
yeah,
it's not his fault or her fault that A stepped down, right?
I think the best way, if the person wants to have somebody else, then you run for it.
Yeah, but if the person chooses to be alone, I
but if
think
that
yes,
person wants to have somebody else,
yes,
that
as a
person has to
partner.
run for by-election?
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
but then there'll be too many
the
by-elections.
person runs for by-election.
Yes, also let's just say Franklin wants to call somebody else to be his partner, then he would have to run again.
Essentially step down and
Yeah,
run for
essentially step down.
by-election.
Unless he wants to do it alone, then that's
If
fine.
but if you're gonna have immediate by-election in SEM 2, then another, like let's say one person steps down in SEM 1, then again another by-election.
No, Sam, but there will be too many by-elections then.
Then
I think if let's say I mean in my opinion, if let's say if one partner steps down, the remaining partner should be able to decide if the person wants to stay or not. If doesn't want to stay, it's either he remains the same or he can appoint an assistant, but just keep in mind that the assistant is not the same as the office bearer.
actually, I mean, let's just say we would do another by-election. I think it would be fine just to give it a number because this is an emergency. So it's kind of like off the usual track of a by. But yeah, I think like the assistant would be fine.
No, I mean, why can't we just like appoint maybe like your most capable subcom to be your assistant? I don't see you're
No, but,
We're not
but
talking
Sam,
about
that's
you.
the case. Like, imagine lah, if it's 2 office bearers supposed to fill in a portfolio, and then you call this person an assistant. At the end of the day, how would you reward a person who is doing the same amount of work, but you will be getting a Monash cert? By right, this person, your assistant, will not be getting a Monash cert.
Then why don't you become a Monash?
We've been trying for that.
Why can't they do that?
It's an instruction from above.
Come on.
God. No, but then it brings back to the same thing from the start lah. If they're going to be an assistant, then inform them beforehand that you know what, you won't get molested lah.
Yeah, what if that limits your options of finding people completely?
Yeah.
Then why don't you get
Both of them and work with your subcoms, then they find
I like that idea.
What?
There was subcoms?
Yes,
Yeah, I changed my
I like that.
Wait. You also have to think about how efficiently the department will run with just one person. Like, okay, Franklin might choose to run alone, but his subcoms are capable. what if the next MUSA subcoms are complete idiots? And then they don't run as efficiently and you are like sacrificing all the other events to become crappy events.
Then I guess it's up to the department to decide.
But even like you're talking about how efficient, I mean, even if you run for an election doesn't mean you're efficient.
That's true.
So
I mean, there's the possibility that the person that's either appointed or chosen is also equally incompetent.
Yeah. So I guess it's the best at that point. The best option that the person has to decide at that point now. If he or she thinks that appointing one of their most capable subcoms is the best way forward, then that so be it. I think because the one that stepped down may have been the more efficient one compared to the one who stayed. Why is Sean looking at me like that?
Nothing.
Yeah. So
by right, from what I understand by right, because the constitution currently states that you have to run as a shared position. So you go through as a shared position. If you resign as a shared position.
Huh?
Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't say that.
No, it doesn't say that. It should.
But we'll have to
Are you sure?
I believe it should be like that. Like, no, why run as a shared position?
What if smack in the middle of a peak event, one of the activities chairperson decides to leave, and just smack before fall or something. He won't die.
What?
Nothing. Then what happens? Like you can't be wasting. Okay, say it's like sometime in July, and you're smack in the middle of planning for ball. And then one of them is like, oh, I can't do this anymore, fuck you, bye.
Oh, you deserve a one.
You guys laugh, but that has happened before.
Yeah.
It's on record.
So what happens? So why should this person be punished because his partner just decides to leave because they can't handle it anymore? What happens then? Who takes on the role of planning for the annual ball? You can't be wasting time planning for by-elections at that point of time.
Sam?
Yeah, so just saying, I mean, yes, I understand that you should have fairness in protocol and such, but it also depends on the circumstance that you're in. If, let's say, the circumstance doesn't allow for it, then what are you going to do then? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I guess in this case, we can't exactly follow it.
Set a time frame then. Like if that person drops out in the first 3 months, or like in the
That
earlier in
is
the year.
stated in the Constitution.
Huh?
That is stated in the Constitution. Should a person steps down within 3 months, three months before the annual elections, the person is supposed to run for by-election.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we just didn't do that. I mean, you guys just didn't do that.
No, because they surpassed and there's
They somewhat surpassed just a bit only of the time limit. Yeah.
And I think, to be honest, I think we should move on because now we've moved on from how an person to be elected to what if somebody gets sacked. So I think that one is definitely a concern, but not at this MSC. Yeah, not at this MSC, unless anybody else is planning to. Yeah. Okay? Okay? Alright, moving on.
For MSC to accept my report, accepted by. Oh my god, again. Wait. Accepted by Brandon, seconded by. Oh, that was hard. Again. Charmaine.
Seconded by.
I said seconded by.
No.
Fine, I need this.
Oh, Marani. Hello.
I only have 2 events to inform because I submitted my business papers before orientation bash. But I'll talk about OB as well. So MUSA Day, there were 18 teams because originally there were 22, but pharmacy doesn't have an intake this semester, so we dropped it down to 18 teams. Thanks to the departments for helping out and telling the games are good. And top 5 winners is you know who lah. So moving on. But next is orientation week. My department is heavily involved with orientation week. We decided to take over celebrating transition and the photo ID session because usually they don't show up anyway, so you might as well just take over it. And for orientation bash, we had original number was 230, including helpers, and altogether we only had 192. Yep, and during the event we got a lot of injuries lah. To be exact, 31 injuries, yes. And the most serious is actually in MUSA, which is entry Bianca. So yes, yeah. See you. Nelson is alright.
They both 2 legs is
Terry lost 2 legs.
Nelson's alright. You guys can live, but like these two, like serious lah.
I'm
You guys
fine.
have to go check. By the way, Jasmine, you should go to hospital if it still hurts.
Oh, it's fine.
Anyway.
I got a couple of bites from that.
Yeah. The winners I can't remember, but I only know one thing was Terry didn't win anything. So I'm quite happy. Quite good. So that's it. Thank you.
For MSC to accept activities report accepted by
Serene.
Huh?
Serene.
Seconded by
Jasmine.
Not in 5 years. Activities hold the grudge. Huh? Oh, my turn.
Please note welfare's report is longer than the president's one.
It's faster than the president's one, I'll tell you that. Hey, mine was quite fast. Yeah. Keep telling yourself that. Hello, friends. Okay. I'll keep this as short as possible because I want to eat too. Okay, first things first. Hey, Sherry. Oh, you came late?
Continue. Now you're dragging it.
Okay, so, diam lah. Okay, first. Commencement of MUSA launch operations during the July intake.
Not motion,
Not motion. I said a mistake, that's why. Okay, the response was less than average due to all the construction. Nobody wants to make the circle, but we're still making money, so it's fine. We dropped the PS4 prices back down, so from 6 ringgit an hour it's back to 4 ringgit an hour.
Why?
Because I felt 6 ringgit an hour was ridiculous.
Yeah, 4 ringgit standard like PC price lah. 2 ringgit or 1 contract.
That was not my decision. Let's just leave it at that. Okay? Okay. Second thing, beanbags for the MUSA launch. Okay.
Oh, you go first.
Okay, I'm in the process of getting beanbags. All the departments that wants the beanbag, please fill up the. Who wants the beanbag, please inform me. If the beanbags come and I don't have your name on it, I'm sorry.
Wait, we did on the WhatsApp group.
Yeah. The ones who have done the WhatsApp group, I have noted. The ones who haven't, later come and ask me for beanbag.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How many beanbags are school reps getting?
One. I'm taking away the one beanbag you have.
Okay, now what are we getting?
Nothing. I'm replacing that one beanbag with you. Hey, your room got no space to walk also. You want to go out?
No space. It's not about that.
So we're only getting one. How big is it?
The same size.
How about small ones? Many people can sleep at the same time.
I'll give you one big one or 3 small ones. You guys choose.
Three small ones.
Cuddle.
Guys, we'll discuss about this later. Okay, move on. Oh my god.
Pillows. Show my pillows. Show my pillows. Show my pillows.
Sean, get pillows.
Your pillows will be here next week. The reason for the delay is because I have to wash them by hand.
Said that last week.
My mom doesn't let me use the washing machine. She gets angry when I say I'm washing stuff for MUSA.
Move on.
Yeah, moving on. Okay, why isn't...
I have a lot of
Hey, will it just put your laptop in this paper? Is that what you're doing?
Nobody listens to Sean.
FMD is going to get a nice email from me.
Nothing.
I heard that.
Sean, just read it for me.
Cute. Okay, so
Don't touch it.
Hey. Sorry. Okay, so beanbags. Those of you who want it, please tell me. If you don't tell me, I don't know you want it. Okay. Second one.
Okay, let's just read. Sean, just read.
Okay, number 3. New purchases for MUSA launch. As you all know, we have bought the pool tables in the MUSA launch. Alright? Now, okay. Now, we save roughly around, like technically we don't save anything lah. Okay, because
this semester we don't save anything. We would have spent 15,000 on paying the outside party. That same money we used to buy the tables. So we don't exactly get much, but the Musas coming after us will have a lot of extra money. Hopefully. Okay, also I wanted to drop the pool rates because it's also very, very expensive. But I need to replace the 15,000. So until I replace the 15,000, I will have to hold the rates. Okay? Okay, continuing. And that's our wonderful pool tables. It's there.
Wow, they look exactly the same.
They are the same.
They are the same.
Okay.
Yeah, but now you own it.
Yeah, now we own it.
Why don't you give us a picture? I already know what it looks like.
I like pictures. Okay. Number 4, I have placed one of the water dispensers in the lounge, and I've got my lounge managers to change the water every morning and add ice in the afternoons.
The last time I drank the water dispenser, it tastes like soap.
Oh.
Not just me.
At least I cleaned it.
It looks like I'm gonna wash it myself too. Okay. Moving on. Okay. Also, next one is launch cleanup. As you know, the launch was absolutely filthy. There were maggots, there were dead flies, there were dead cockroaches, and there was a rat tail. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. So, after a severe cleanup, which took us a day, first of all, I'd like to thank my subcoms. Your food did work. It's all your food. So basically, I didn't get a picture of your food doing work.
No proof.
Okay. Okay. So basically, I used my subcons to clean the lounge. Which I went
Only the lounge, huh?
Only the lounge. Okay. And actually, what I did was I got the subcoms to clean one section of the lounge and move everything in the lounge to that section. Because I asked Zeba to send the cleaners, and we all know how ineffective they are. So I had to move everything to one place. Only then they will clean it properly. And then also I have to keep my subcoms. You're in charge of this group of cleaners. You're in charge of this group, and make sure they wipe the light, wipe the blinds and everything. Okay? So that was a long day. Moving on. Okay, events. So these are my upcoming events and some events that I've already done. Okay, so first of all will be MUSA Wars. Those of you who had filled up your teams, your shirts have already been ordered. Those of you who didn't send me the shirt orders, I remembered as much as I could. Okay?
Mine.
Yeah, yours done, Jasmine done.
Hey, who's your team? You go solo.
No.
I have to need to send it to me.
Yeah, done. Okay, wait. So far, I only know editors send the team, welfare send the team, CNS send the team, activities send the team, arts, engineering, science. President is mixing with publicity and treasurers.
Yes.
And IT. The rest of them, I don't know what happened lah.
Oh, you joining us? Editor wants second team.
Oh, MOE sent the team. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sean, editor wants second team.
No, it's not engineering day. Okay, so that's the first one. Okay, the second thing we did was the gym boot during orientation week. The hoodie lucky draw has not been given out yet. We're planning to do it next week. But we did get a lot of responses, and we're going to go talk to the admins about getting new equipment for the gym. Alright? And apparently people love free stuff. Okay. Okay, next one will be the FIFA tournament, which is happening. Oh god. What is the lag? Okay, next thing will be the FIFA tournament happening next week. Oh, and we're doing something new for the FIFA and pool tournament this semester. We're going to get a golden plank with the name written on it. Plaque, and we're going to put it up in the launch.
Wow.
So for the singles champion and the doubles champion, there'll be a plaque on the launch. Okay? And I'm going to get a small spotlight for it and all that. Okay. Okay. It's 2 years. The spotlight won't cost me much. Okay, next one will be Would You Confess?
Would you, Sean?
No! I'm telling you, my subcoms came up with this as a prank for me. I'm betting you that.
Oh, Sean.
Didn't you?
Sorry, no!
Confessing, but you said the earphone, right?
You said the earphone, didn't you?
Okay, so Would You Confess is basically a post-event to activities Flash Friends. So basically, they meet during Flash Friends, and Would You Confess is where they take it to the next step.
Oh, by the way, Flash Friends is happening right now.
Yeah, it's happening right. Okay, basically what Would You Confess is basically you come to the booth and you write a secret note to someone. Alright? Only we have a record of who wrote it. So at the end of the week, we will take the best quotes, I think 5 or 6 of them, and give them free movie tickets, couple seat. It's not done yet. For the quote, we'll give you the movie ticket. After that, it's up to you to.
Who's deciding on the quote?
I don't know, I haven't decided yet. Probably Dilla is very event. Okay. Following that, if for some reason they can bring the person, okay, you know on the note they wrote the quote and someone's name on it, right? If they can bring that person and show us their ID, we'll give them free popcorn and drinks.
What if they cheat? What if I bring Jazz?
That is why.
What if I bring Sean?
Oh shit, what's
I will come with you for sure.
So
I love you.
This is why I'm not telling them about popcorn and drinks.
But regardless, I can still, yeah.
Okay?
I think, right, just give popcorn and drinks to the whoever that got.
Maybe don't let Musa participate.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna ban Musa on participation. Oh my god! Any complaints regarding this? Please take it to my subcom. I am not handling this. Okay? Following, you want me to finish this or not? Okay, following that is an ice cream giveaway. We are basically going to take the warmest afternoon we could possibly find and give away ice cream. Okay? Okay, we tried to follow the weather forecast, but it's unreliable. If it rains, too bad lah. I tried lah. Okay, moving on. Pool tournament. Same thing as every semester. It's a pool tournament, but with a slight twist this time with the plaque.
Wow.
Okay. After that, wellness week. It should be in week 10. Like Janice said, all the various parties involved, we will be having a meeting with them. Okay. Okay. Following.
Yes, Franklin.
Are you bringing back puppies?
Yes. If I can find place for them.
Can.
Huh?
Puppies, huh?
Yeah, can we choose?
Okay, this time I'm going to make sure it's puppies. Number 2, I'm going to make a barrier which can hold a German Shepherd. And 3, I need to find place. Okay.
Your office?
The editor's office.
Yours into the office. Shit, around here, who's gonna clean it up?
Not welfare.
Office,
Yeah, I saw what you all did to my office. Okay, moving on.
You should make sure no one harms the puppy. I mean, at home.
Yeah.
I can handle seat hogging lah. I can't handle puppy hogging also lah.
No, I think just the one like the helpers on that day, just tell them to keep a lookout.
Yeah, I think I might need more helpers and I might actually give them a better briefing this time.
For puppies, I mean,
I volunteer as tribute.
I'm all about that around.
Guys, come on, let's get this over with.
Hungry.
Like I'm not hungry. Okay, these are welfare initiatives. Okay, we have discussed with FMD to get more plug points in tutorial rooms. Number 1, because some people are stealing the extension cords.
Yeah.
Who's feeling like the extension cords?
Okay,
It's not like he's gonna know, right?
Actually, I do, but I'm gonna keep it to myself. Okay? So, yeah, you know, during SWAT WAC, FMD puts extension cords in the 24-hour tutorial rooms. They steal that. So, actually, I gotta thank them for stealing that because that helped me push my initiative. So I told them that since the library is no longer giving laptops, people have to bring their own devices, they require plug points. And one tutorial room has one plug point in the corner somewhere. So I told them at least in one wall put 2 plug points. They said they will look into it and let's see how it goes lah. Okay. Following that, okay, it's back. Okay, following that, we've also spoken to FMD to get a water filter near the futsal court. Okay, number 1, construction. They literally have to flank to get the water. Okay, so we've spoken to them to put one there. I've even told them where the water supply is if they weren't sure where it was. So they said they'll get on that. Next one, okay, there is one TV in the lounge near the door. All right. In the lounge, when you walk in the front door, there's a TV on the right. What I plan to do is to work with publicity on that and put slideshows of all our events. So if you're doing any event, maybe we do a dry run and we take a video of it with the help of the editors and we play it on the screen. It's better publicity for us as well. Okay? So I have borrowed a computer from the editors, and I have asked Sam to help out with the.
Borrowed a computer?
Yeah, I borrowed one of your PCs.
The one I don't use.
Yeah, no, I don't use. Okay, so let's see how well that works out. Right. Next will be okay. If you guys have any ideas for new food in the cafeteria, please come and tell me. Because the admins have this wonderful idea of getting all the weird food and and they think it's in trend. Literally.
It's
like the name.
Yeah.
What happened?
Do you all know what they call the new cafeteria? There were worse names. That was the least damaging one. There were much worse names, and they like the worst ones. So
Hey Mama.
I can't remember, but it was
Mama, it's a good idea. Murni.
Wait, goreng pisang tu.
I'm going to put a form in the launch for people to come and fill out what kind of food they want in the cafeteria, and I'll try my best to push it through. Okay? Okay. Last thing, okay. I spoke to the LNC about their seed hogging campaign and how people purposely seed hog just to get that cute little thing. They all had a nice laugh out of it. Well, I had to tell them, right? Purposely? There were people who purposely, seed hog just to get that parking ticket and say, oh, it's so cute. Yeah, so I took a Snapchat and I went and showed the library.
You were not the only one.
I showed the LNC.
So your initiative failed miserably.
That wasn't my initiative.
It wasn't ours. It was the library. Library's initiative failed miserably.
Yes.
It worked a bit. A little bit. Then the library had all these fascinating ideas of putting sensors on chairs and then I told them if you put a sensor, the engineers will probably bypass the sensor and hang it again, so no point. And obviously a lot of things happen, but we need to find a better solution for this. And if anybody has a solution or an opinion, please come and see me. Shut up. Okay? Okay, and that's it.
For MSC to accept welfare report accepted by.
Again.
Accepted by.
Hey.
Wow.
Seconded by.
Hey. You're looking there.
Seconded by.
Wait. Last one more time. Hey, all hands down. Andrew, sit down. Franklin, hand down. Okay.
Seconded by.
Me.
Free. Let me count. Ready? Hands down. That's not a down. It's over your head. Lower a bit. Okay. 1, 2. And guys, come on, faster. 1, 2. Wait. 1, 2, 3. Yes.
This is nonsense.
Editors.
Let's go.
When is it?
Oh my god. That's how it feels like to be Ganesh.
What is this about?
Hey, confession page.
Confession page on the 16th.
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back. The semester has been absolutely intense. We have had so much of support. We have had a lot of, in my opinion, very quantifiable success for manga. As you have seen, like we've distributed over 700 copies of manga in 20 minutes. So we received an extra 50 copies and stuff like that. We will avoid repeating the same mistake, implementing a pre-order system which will be open. Because the thing is that last semester's one was really what do you call it, in demand, but then there were a lot of people who also couldn't get it. So right now we're going to print by order and print a bit more. And also one more thing, we just go down some of the I know like, can we go down a bit? I know like the confession page is a bit of a taboo, but really if we think about it, it's real students' opinions. And we also have some on Facebook which you can see, but I thought this was some of like the really, and see now only more copies, which will come to one point which we forgot to add in. So can you go down? Yeah, just some more blah 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 blah. Okay, so in that perspective, we are looking to print more. However, because we base our budget only on what last year was given, we actually want to print more copies, at least about 1,000, around there, which is a bit more than what we budgeted for. So it would be great if anybody has extra money, you give it to us, because those people who have, we would really appreciate if you give us extra money. If not, we will have to go to our last resort, which is probably finding sponsors, which is something we try not to do because we don't want to turn Monga into some publicity dump hole. So yes, if you do have extra funds, we are in desperate need of it because we want to print more, at least focus on more demand, focus on the demand that has been brought up to us.
It's not a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like 13,000, we can print like 700 copies, right? So it's not that much of money, especially for people with 100-something thousand budgets.
Yeah.
So,
and
maybe just 5K or something. Anything will help.
Maybe this will entice you a bit. The direction of Manga we're taking is more event pictures. So we're putting more of your events inside.
You give us money.
So yeah, you give more money.
Yours.
You have more of your events inside. So we go by quota. Yes. Our second initiative is going to be our group pictures from Manga, which will include Musa, Muis, yes, and then we're considering Mupa also. And as well, we just added a few more. We were thinking of the clubs.
Monash Cup.
Yeah, Monash clubhouses. So tentatively right now, the date fixed is week 6. So prepare your subcommittees, at least finalize them. We're going to have a group picture for you guys as well as a group picture for all of us. Week 6, the entire week, it will throughout as the week gets closer, we will post out a schedule for you guys to see where you will fit, or you can choose your ones. One question I wanted to ask: is it okay if we open up our Manga to be able to take pictures for the coming parties that are running? Is that something that we can do? Let's just say we oh yeah.
It's already.
No. I mean, like not for this. I mean, this is a group picture for Manga, but this one is like, the thing is that from last year's election, from at least from what I've heard, is that at least the opposing team to Genesis, they were a bit like intimidated because of the level of like the photos that we had on our team and Genesis team. So there was like a huge contrast that a lot of people could see. So they felt, I guess your team was a bit like not so comfortable. So we want to try and avoid that. And so we want to try and offer out our assistance to help out the coming Musa election parties, that if they want to take photos and they don't have the opportunity or they don't have the funds to do it, they can come to us and we can do it for them. Yeah, is that possible? I mean, it's not biased, right?
It's not biased.
We are opening up if they
You're
want
opening
to.
up to all. It's not just to
no.
one party.
Yeah.
So you have to liaise with the ticket holders especially.
Okay.
Because they are the ones essentially that will be making the decision.
Okay. Yeah.
So maybe.
But I just want to get like see whether it's okay first.
Will you be able to attend the briefing on Monday?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Then maybe you can discuss this with them then.
Okay, sure. Yes, so around week 6, and the last one is please we definitely want to bring up Manga to like exponentially this semester, so we hope that you fill out our event coverage. And I guess we should just briefly say about the timeline is that because of the close date of Manga being given to us, because we sent it in a bit late and it was given to us on Friday week 12, we want to avoid that at all costs. And so Manga will be sent for printing in week 10. Yeah.
All events before week 10 can be included in Manga.
Yeah.
All events after week 10 cannot be included in Manga because we cannot print on time.
Yeah, it's a very, very difficult. I mean, I would really love TEDx to be inside, but because of the date that in which we need it to be printed, it's a bit difficult.
I think it's fine.
Push for it.
But I think about that, but at that time I think the new editorial team for 2018 will have been decided by then.
Yeah.
So I think you can talk to them and see if you can get it in Manga next
as long as our pictures are on Facebook.
Oh yeah,
then
definitely
it's
yes, but it's just that printed in Manga. So the cut-off date would be probably annual ball. The last event will be covering officially.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, it's week
Big one, though. Is
My
it?
mask got pushed back after ball.
Which is week one, huh?
I think ball.
Ball is in 10, right? Oh, okay.
Week 10 is the last
Oh
week.
yeah, week 10 is the cut date. So I thought I
Ball
was
is
under
week
the
10.
impression that
Week
ball
10
was
is the
under
last week.
Okay, yeah, week 10 is the last week. So yeah.
I just want to say, like, the Manga copies, right? Like, we printed 750 copies last semester, but then we're not doubling it, like, we're not increasing it like so many this semester, was because even despite the fact that we gave out 750 copies in 20 minutes, we went back around campus, like, an hour or 2 hours after that. Like there were a lot of manga copies that were left around. So I personally went around collecting 10 copies from the canteen. So like people just take the magazine just to read it, but then they leave it around. So we take back those magazines and then we give it to other people. So they've been recycled actually, some of the magazines. So that's why we're not printing a lot, although like last semester those events were sold out. And then and then in regards to the MSc articles, from now onwards I've decided that the MSc articles will be written after the GenSec sends me the minutes.
Minutes or business?
Yeah, I mean the ones that include all of information. The minutes.
Let me send you the business.
No, minutes.
You want the minutes?
Yes. Minutes is the one with the information.
Because sometimes things get updated.
So like because previously, like based on the previous MSc articles, I mean there's been a lot of controversies. So like in this case, until I wait for the minutes, then if anything they can look at the minutes straight away. So like I mean this sort of like protects everyone in a way. Yes, understand?
Yes, Kelvin.
Questions? No?
No.
Okay, financing to accept editor's report accepted by? Accepted by?
Sam.
Oh yeah, sorry, we're supposed to choose.
No, I mean Sam.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Seconded by?
Short like.
Engineering?
Sam, you got report? You got report? Cilaka, I choose you.
Wow. What's wrong?
She has chosen
Right. Hey, it's my face! It's 7 days. Where my chin 7 days? Now you do the face, Danny.
Yeah. So basically, this event was held on last semester, week 12 Saturday. 15 of them went to PWTC for Metal Tech field trip. All of them get to question all the big companies on prospect of internship, future job. So basically, they just ask anything they want to know about those big companies that's in Metal Tech, and that's it. They had a great time.
Wait.
Is that Nelson? Yes.
Oh.
Nelson joined us. Because there's some IT companies that is there as well, because they do anything.
Nelson is technically engineering.
All engineering companies is there.
Questions?
Yes.
MSc to accept School of Engineering's report accepted by?
Just pick one.
Sorry.
Seconded by?
Nelson.
School of IT?
Oh, IT! Where? Where Nelson? I can't see Nelson. Where? I can't recognize him without his ankles.
Okay, hi everyone. So, one of the recent things we did was last week, we went to one of our IBL partners, which is one of our internship partners named Configura. It was in KL, so we left last week, Wednesday in the morning, 9 o'clock, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 9 o'clock in the morning. We went with Krish, Global. Bus driver was good, bus was great. So we went there and we talked about the future prospects, how's the job market, what's the future outlook for IT students, etc., and how's the working environment for students who are working in Configure right now. So this was a nice small group photo. The office lot were really small and they bought us pizza.
Like you.
Yeah. Fix the projector, please.
I finally get an email from you today.
Okay, so next up. Okay, guys, I need a bit of your help here. Right now, as you all know, School of IT, we have this annual tradition of hosting Dota 2. So before we host the competition, we need t-shirts. And like what Sean last time said in MUSA was, one of the best ways to get people to come is have good t-shirts. Okay, so right now, I really need designs because the design sent in has been. Am I being recorded?
Yes.
I'll say it. Below satisfactory. So guys, anyone here who's good in designing, I'm going to give you 150 ringgit voucher and a winning design t-shirt. So guys, please, I need your designs, please.
Wow, I woke up.
And also, we are having another School of IT design t-shirt competition. Same thing, 150 ringgit Zalora voucher, and you're winning design t-shirt. Imagine, guys, people are wearing the t-shirt you design, you know.
I will design one and you put my name inside that.
I got you, fam. We can get into that. Okay, and I think that's about it.
Yeah, that's all. Don't let you.
Alright, and that is it. So guys, remember, Dota 2 t-shirt competition, School of IT t-shirt competition. If any of you are great designing, please, we need your designs.
I feel like I should buy something right now.
Okay, so that is it. Thank you, guys.
Questions? No.
No, any questions?
MSC to accept School of IT's report. Acceptable.
Okay. You take one, you take the first one.
Jerry lah.
Yeah, I think it was me also. Harry.
School of Pharmacy.
Why would I want to look at you?
I understand. Me,
Sorry, before Sam break, we had our t-shirt sale, so we actually made quite some amount of money from that, so we put that into the pharmacy camp. Okay, the camp, right, I got a shock from Mr. Jasmine because at first it was already approved, but then suddenly there was that memorandum from the government, blah blah blah. So he gave me that heart attack like 3 days before, so I almost died. But everything went on smoothly, we still carried on, blah blah blah. And at first there was supposed to be 120 people coming with us, but ended up only 102 actually showed up. But everyone's okay. 106 signed up, but only 102 showed up. So yeah, it was cool lah. Everything was nice. The campsite was okay. Everyone had fun. There were a lot of leeches. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can remember. Okay, that's it, guys. So anything? No, nothing. So,
No.
okay, come on.
Go to the corner.
For MSC to accept School of Pharmacy's report. Accepted by? Again. Accepted by? Andrew. Seconded by? Sean.
Yay!
Last report, School of Science.
Take the stage!
Perfect, thank you.
Accept this bit, right?
Oh, it died.
That one?
Hi.
Pintu to batas.
Don't stop.
Oh, okay, it's facing us. Oh, hi. I think I'll stand there.
Huh? Why?
Because then you can see everyone.
Lies.
Wow. Okay, yeah, okay, hi.
Hi.
We had a cookie giveaway at the end of last semester. Our CMO sponsored 240 packets of Paper Savers. Damn nice for our CMO.
We gave away about 200 packets, and we got about 200 something responses for our C2 evaluations also.
The remainder we gave to some
The
of
staff.
y'all. Yeah, Sina, Yahu, Gerald, yeah, the remainder we gave to y'all.
And we also gave to the staff of the School of Science.
Yeah.
And overall it was okay, but we received comments saying that they didn't like it and they wanted us to give out Subway cookies instead.
Yes.
So okay lor, we're doing it like
So that's why we're doing this semester. We're giving out Subway instead of Oh, and we done.
Okay, we're done. Okay,
You're the man.
Any questions for us? No, please.
Do we get free cookies?
No.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Okay, for MSC to accept School of Sciences report. Accepted by?
Franklin.
Hey, that was a setup. I saw the eye contact.
Seconded by?
Again.
Seconded by?
Fuck it lah.
Gerald. Oh, sorry. She's blocking you.
Okay, guys. Before I adjourn the
We done
meeting, please remember all the deadlines. The 2 deadlines Janish gave and the 1 deadline I gave. This is on the 14th. Mine is this Monday. And do not forget about the briefing on Monday, 5:30, LP 6008. 1 person per portfolio has to be there. Okay, go. Meeting adjourned.
Can someone go? Can I send this out?
Question is,
Oh, I'm not studying there too.
Good
makan